Hey, what's going on, internet? Xiagax here, and I think we need to have a talk. So maybe pull up a chair. So within the last 48 hours or so, account registrations have gone live, and with it following name tokens being sent out. That said, though, it seems like it's a bit of a mess here, as within the Hytale community right now, if you've been trying to reserve your Hytale name or you were trying to lock down a name that you've been having your eye on, you might know that there's a bit of issues arising. Now, fortunately for me, I've actually managed to get my name locked down, although I would have to admit, though, the name Xiagax isn't exactly ripe for being stolen, at least not yet, considering that the name of my gamertag and YouTube channel is not exactly very well known. Unless, however, there's going to be some psycho maybe 5 years down the line who just decides to steal my name for another game just for the lulz, although I would have to imagine that would probably be very unlikely. It's a bit like a duck beating you over the head with a baseball bat. Your chances are very unlikely, but never zero. Some of you out there are probably still waiting for your name token, so one bit of advice that I would have for you, make sure to check your junk folder in your email. When I actually registered my account, when I went to go check my email, I waited for probably about a good 5 minutes or so and really didn't see the email show up. That was until I got the idea to check my junk folder, and sure enough, it was sitting there waiting for me. So once again, just check your junk folder, perhaps maybe it's sitting there. So while my name and many others are probably safely reserved, again, some of you are still waiting for your name token, and it seems to be creating a bit of a problem because it's creating a market that really shouldn't exist. And the market that I'm talking about, well, it's actually going to be the subject of this video and how we can probably combat it. So for me, while I actually managed to get my name reserved around roughly 4 in the afternoon after I got out of work, only about a couple hours earlier, there was actually somebody who put on Reddit, one dude in my Discord was scammed for about $100 trying to buy a token. And I'm seeing similar messages on the official Hytale Discord. Don't buy any tokens. Chances are you will get scammed. Which, yes, that's 100% true. There's a very good possibility that you will get scammed trying to buy a name token. This is actually a lesson that I learned very early on into RuneScape. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So while we already have one confirmed case of somebody being scammed out of their hard-earned money of $100, this took me down a bit of a rabbit hole, as there was another post on Reddit that showcased about a number of threads on some unidentified forum. Still don't know what the name is, still waiting to hear back from that. But basically, tons and tons of threads basically offering names of people sitting on potentially popular names with the intent to sell them, which is actually the big point of this video here. If I can actually remind everyone that trying to trade any intangible benefits such as names or permissions or anything of the like is actually against TOS, and is actually something that can and will get you banned. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but it's still against TOS, so don't do it. Now, if you're one of many people that think that maybe that trading or selling names really isn't that big of a deal, let me go through a couple of reasons why it's actually really not something that you want to do. First off, it actually blocks legitimate players from using their identity because, well, a bunch of people want to use a long-standing gamer tag, such as myself. It also may be a brand name, or it could be the name of a creator. Funny enough, I actually found on Twitter, of all places, that somebody actually managed to claim the name Markiplier. And I can guarantee you that the person that claimed it was most certainly not Mark himself. So this may actually create a bit of a problem for Mark if he decides that he actually wants to jump on Hytale as well. Although I feel that he may have some kind of verification process that he can send Hypixel, and he might actually get his name. The second reason that I can think of why this would actually be against the rules is because it creates support burdens for the developer. Any studio of any kind generally get flooded with, "That's my name, can I have it? This user might be inactive, can you please delete their account? Or someone stole my brand name and then please fix it." This generally just wastes devs' resources and creates unnecessary disputes, which I can guarantee you nobody wants to deal with. The next reason off the top of my list is that it actually pollutes the player base with inactive accounts. If thousands of names are taken by people who never actually play, the name pool actually becomes artificially limited. New players have a worse time onboarding, and identity fragmentations where you end up getting names like name12345 or name/XX whatever. Really just overall hurts community growth. And then I would say probably the last thing that I can think of is that it often really doesn't pay off to begin with. Considering that most squatted names never get sold, they never get used. They end up deleted in the inactive account purges that periodically happen every couple of years or so, generally when developers try to free up some names and they aren't worth the time squatting on. Developers, again, they wipe inactive names all the time, especially before launch or major resets. So yeah, basically short answer is it hurts legitimate players, it already breaks TOS, it can cause community issues, generally is a headache, and it really doesn't benefit anyone. So like I said earlier, how exactly can we as a community combat this? Well, it's pretty easy. The first step is don't engage. It doesn't matter how much you want the name, it just isn't worth it. One name should not be worth $100, let alone even one. So the second step I would say to actually combating this problem would actually be to report where you see names being sold and profiles that are the ones sitting on names. The quicker that people get reported, the quicker that the Hypixel devs can go ahead and free those names up and ban the people in question. Now, I know people are apprehensive to actually try to report because in their mind, reporting doesn't do anything. Which in my mind is actually a little bit short-sighted because in reality what I think people are actually thinking when they say that is, I don't want to report because it doesn't get solved quick enough. Again, this is where people need to have some patience, so please just do report people selling names and just have a little patience. And if you happen to still be waiting for your name token and you want to see if your name is still available, you can actually find a website called Hytale.tools. Hytl.tools. I'm not entirely sure on the pronunciation of that. Either way, that was brought to my attention by Breadboy985 on Reddit, and we can also thank @JackGames for the win for providing the tools. So again, if you would like to actually see if your name is still available, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is type in the name and it will let you know if it's available or not. So anyhow, to close out this video here, basically, please don't try to buy any accounts. Don't even offer $1. Seriously, it's not worth it. Don't engage with anybody trying to sit on names or try to sell you any names. Just report. Just report to the best of your ability. Yes, I know it's not satisfying, especially if you don't get any feedback, but that's really the best that we can do, especially when we're only about 30 days from launch of early access. So whatever you can do to help the devs, please do. Anyhow, guys, that's pretty much all I have for right about now. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and sub down below, and I will see you in the next one.